We had a week in Alicante, Spain with our kids as a part of a month-long Spanish adventure. Here's a list of 6 things you'll want to check out if you're visiting Alicante with kids. Stick around until the end. We have a bonus, highly rated site you may want to pass on if you're visiting with your little ones. Number 1. Castell de Santa Bàrbara. Sitting at the top of Mount Castell, over 550 feet above the Mediterranean Sea, this was the first site we visited after arriving in Alicante. I think there's an easier route to the top. We found a path and started walking. Eli knew a shortcut apparently, so we took his lead and maybe took the road less traveled. This isn't an easy hike. Our 6-year-old took a little extra coaching, but eventually we made it to the top. The views are breathtaking, and the history of the castle and the city is well documented throughout. At the top, there's a gift shop, cafeteria, and some bathrooms. For those of you who want to visit but don't like the idea of a steep hike, you can get rides to the entrance to the castle. Number 2. Mushroom Street. This one isn't as much for the history buffs, but our kids enjoyed it, Maya in particular. There's a simple, narrow street in downtown Alicante with mushroom statues of different shapes and sizes. Dotted with shops and cafes, this is a great place to slow down a little, grab an order of fresh churros, and stroll through the street. Number 3. Tapas restaurant. It works great for the kids because you grab a seat immediately, sit down, and someone is cycling the restaurant with trays of tapas. If you like what you see, grab it and eat it. At the end of the meal, they count the wooden blocks and ceramic dishes, and you pay for the number of tapas you've eaten. No need to read a menu, decide what to eat, and then try and keep the kids entertained while you wait for food. The food is coming right away as soon as you sit down. Number 4. Grab some gelato or ice cream and go for a stroll. We were in Alicante in July. It was hot. We visited a couple different shops when we visited, and they were both delicious. Eli opted for the chili chocolate orange, which was spicy. The rest of us went for something more tame. Having something to work toward each day to keep the kids moving. The promise of delicious ice cream is a sure way to keep the kids moving through the summer heat. Number 5. Barrio Santa Cruz. This is a little neighborhood nestled under the hill. Its various alleys and colorfully decorated flower pots was a slower pace for the kids. It wasn't the easiest to find despite being right in the middle of the old city, but we managed to find it after a couple of tries. It was a quieter feel here, with much less tourists walking around. A great spot to stroll, maybe sit and relax in some shade. We found a group of cats which our kids didn't want to leave, but they didn't mind us being there. Number 6. Go to the beach. Alicante has a lot of options for beaches. From all the research we did, Playa del Pastiguet is a must-visit beach, but we opted for something less crowded. Our accommodation was located about 25 minutes by tram outside of downtown, on Playa Mucha Vista. It's worth the trip to visit a beach with a Spanish feel. Kids playing football on the beach, small bars dotting the shore to grab a snack or a drink. We got to build some sandcastles and we rented a board from Aloha Sport just off the beach. If you're looking for a beach that has a less touristy feel, check this one out. It does get busy on the weekend. And lastly, don't bother with the Mercado Central if you travel to Alicante with kids. This is a fantastic place to visit with fresh meats, fish, and produce, but it didn't impress our kids too much. The architecture was great, and it had a great energy, but the smell and the animal parts kind of turned off our kids. We did get a couple of pieces of fresh fruit, which was delicious, but overall, it wasn't approved by our kids. Are you planning a trip to Alicante, Spain with your kids? If you have any questions about visiting this fantastic city with your family, leave them in the comments below. We have 4 more stops in Spain. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the action. See you next time.